What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So I want to talk about the economy. I want to talk about grocery prices. And there was a question asked of Representative Rasheen. He is a congressman out of Oklahoma, and he was asked a few questions. One question about prescription drugs, and then he was also asked a question about grocery prices. And he failed to answer the question. And not only did he fail to answer the question, but he tried to make the person who asked him the question look like she was confused on asking a question like that. And so we're going to watch this clip. And then after that, I'm going to show you some different clips of why she might be confused. If he wants to say that she's confused, there's a reason for that. And so we'll watch all those clips and then we'll break it all down. But first off, you guys can do me a favor. Please like the video. And if you're watching this video and you want to see more content like this, please consider subscribing to the channel. Okay, so we'll show you the congressman first, and then I have a few more clips to show you. Here we go.
Go ahead.
Well, no, I had a couple of related questions. One is I've heard President Trump say more than once that he has lowered drug prices by 1,500%. I'm not sure how that works. And the other is, can you tell me what specific bills we've passed or worked on that would lower grocery prices?
Yeah. Well, ma'am, you're talking about things relative to state level. And so you're mixing federal and state in terms of if you look at what the 18 enumerated powers say, the 18 enumerated powers that when every member of Congress holds up their hand and swears an oath to uphold and defend the Constitution. And most people who run for Congress don't know those 18 enumerated powers. And they don't know the 10th Amendment that says the power is not delegated to the United States by the Constitution nor prohibited by it to the states or reserved to the states or their people respectively. And so what I'm saying to you is Oklahoma, if you want to have that conversation about grocery taxes, they've been having that conversation. Yeah, but what I'm saying is, but relative to constitutional authority and the way that I have my staff analyze things, what we're allowed to do, okay, what we're allowed to do is it has to be under the framework. We are given tax status, but tell me the federal tax right now on groceries. So what I'm saying is state. You're talking about state. Who's next?
Okay, so you see what he's saying there. He's saying it's the state. It's the state's problem. They're the reason why we're looking at high grocery prices. Now, where would you think she heard this information from? Where is she getting it from? She actually put it out there, and she tried to, the mic wasn't close enough to her when she had her, response, but she was saying this is stuff that Trump has been saying. Trump ran on this. He ran on bringing down grocery prices. He ran on the prescription drugs, bringing those down. And so she's not confused. This is the stuff that she's been hearing.
Right, anyway, because they do lie terribly. We will have reduced drug prices by 1,000%, by 1,100, 1,200, 1,300, 1,400, 700, 600, not 30 or 40 or 50%, but numbers the likes of which you've never even dreamed of before. And we're working very hard right now to get the other countries to lift up their prices a little bit and to get the drug companies to put it to them. And if they don't, the drug companies will have a lot of problems, and they are mostly agreed to it. And if the countries don't, then as an example, if it's Europe, I'll say, that's okay. You're no longer allowed to sell cars in America. You're no longer allowed to have Mercedes, BMW, Volkswagen, or any of the other many cars. And they will say, oh, I love the idea of lower drug prices for America. So you have to use that. That can be done is favored nations, Bobby. And we're not talking about a 25% cut or a 50. We're talking about a 1,500% cut, because people go to Europe to buy drugs and they come back with drugs, prescription drugs, normal, I don't mean the bad drugs. I mean prescription drugs. We will end inflation and make America affordable again. We're going to get the prices down. We have to get them down. It's too much. Groceries, cars, everything. We're going to get the prices down. But prices will come down. You just watch. They'll come down, and they'll come down fast, not only with insurance, with everything. Tomorrow, I will end inflation. We will cut your taxes, end inflation, slash your prices. I will end inflation. Slash your prices. To rapidly reduce inflation, I will end inflation very quickly. You know how end inflation slash your prices. We will cut your taxes, end inflation, slash your prices. We're going to get your prices down.
And so that was President Trump talking about bringing prices down, inflation, grocery prices, everything. Also talking about pharmaceutical drugs, bringing those prices down to 1,500%, which doesn't make any sense because you can only bring something down 100%. Because once you get over 100%, the pharmaceutical company is going to be paying you for you to take their drugs. Does that make any sense? No, it doesn't make any sense at all. And then if we also go to the first clip, you remember the lady asked him, what, as far as Congress, what are you doing? What type of policies are you guys trying to pass in order to bring down grocery prices? And then he goes off and says, well, this is a state issue. But President Trump, when he was running for office, guess what? He had a plan. And let me show you that. Here we go.
Mom of 3, a grandmother of 7, and 3 great-grands, a registered nurse, retired nurse. So I know the cost that goes into raising children and running a household.
Yeah.
People just can't survive now. How are you going to bring down the cost of food and groceries?
Good. Very good. Thank you. So we have to start always with energy. Always. I don't want to be boring about it, but there's no bigger subject. It covers everything. If you make donuts, if you make cars, whatever you make, energy is a big deal. And we're going to get that. It's my ambition to get your energy bill within 12 months down 50%. If I can do that, we've done a hell of a job. 5-0, not 15, 50. Interest rates are going to follow, and actually they're going to follow for another reason. The economy is now not good. And interest rates, you'll see they'll do the rate cut and all the political stuff tomorrow, I think. And, will he do a 0.5 point? Will he do a 1/4 point? But the reason is because the economy is not good. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to do it. But we're going to get interest rates down, and we got to work with our farmers. Our farmers are being decimated right now. They're being absolutely decimated. And, one of the reasons is we allow a lot of farm product into our country, and we're going to have to be a little bit like other countries. We're not going to allow so much we're going to let our farmers go to work. And I don't know if you remember, I love the farmers because, I had many meetings as president. I had this gorgeous room with this beautiful table that seats about 35 people. And I was with the farmers. Usually everybody wants something. They all want subsidy. But I was with the farmers, and I think you might have been there, actually, Sarah. I said, look, fellas, we're going to get you such a beautiful subsidy, meaning I'm going to do things. And one of the people raises and, sir, honestly, we don't want a subsidy. This is the first time this ever happened to me. Everyone they want money. They want to build windmills. We want money with these windmills. Anyway, but you know what? It was amazing. He said, almost tears in his eyes, they were getting decimated. We don't want a subsidy.
Okay, so there was President Trump with his plan, and his plan was energy. So get energy under control, drop it by, 50%, he said? We haven't seen anything like that. He said 12 months, so we still can give him a little more time when it comes to energy. He also said interest rates, they need to cut interest rates, which understand he was talking about cutting interest rates and saying that if our economy is bad, that's why you need to cut interest rates. A lot of that is true. That's the Federal Reserve will look at our economy, and if they need to stimulate our economy, that's when you start cutting interest rates. And so now you've heard the president currently talking about we need to cut interest rates. We need to cut interest rates. So he's admitting that our economy right now is on shaky ground. It's not good. Now, one thing about cutting interest rates, if you cut interest rates, it makes it more desirable to take out loans, more desirable to spend money. If you make it more desirable to spend money, guess what? Inflation comes as a result of that. And so we could see grocery prices go up even higher as a result of cutting interest rates. So we'll have to see. This month, we're going to find out if they cut interest rates. And if they do, we could see inflation going up even higher. And then he talked about farming. And we have farmers right now that are struggling as a result of tariffs. Soybean farmers. We have China used to buy a lot of soybean from the U.S. Now they're going to other places like Brazil to buy soybean. because of tariffs. And so as a result of tariffs, now you have farmers that are really struggling. And he was talking about subsidies for farmers. We shouldn't be doing that. And the farmers, the response, the story that he was telling is farmers saying, we don't want subsidies. That shouldn't be a part of the plan. Subsidies shouldn't be a part of the plan. They just want to be able to sell their soybean or sell whatever product they have. We shouldn't be subsidizing any company. And so right now, there are a lot of farmers that are not happy with this. Now, this was during the campaign when he was saying this stuff. But even after the campaign, after he became president, he's still talking about the fact that grocery prices are already coming down. He's already said that they've come down. He's brought them way down, the price of eggs. He always goes to that, right? Goes to the price of eggs because when he came into office, we had the bird flu and prices of eggs really skyrocketed. And so now they've come back down, but they're still expensive. It's not like they've dropped down below where they were before. And so I just wanted to break this down. When it comes to the confusion that this lady might have had when she asked the question, the way the congressman told her, these are state issues and all this stuff, she's getting that confusion from the president. That's where she's getting it from, because the president is the one that's saying this is what we're going to do, and it's not being done. And if you want to look at a policy solution, the president put his plan out there. Cut energy. What are they doing? What is Congress doing right now to cut energy? We haven't seen anything. We saw cuts for the wealthy. We saw tax cuts for the wealthy, but we're not seeing anything when it comes to cutting energy. So I want to know what you guys think, so let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye. So that's all we have for this video. Make sure if you guys want to send me an email, you can do that, david@thetecshow.com. Like the video, subscribe for more, and check out these videos over here for some more great content. Talk to you later. Bye.